indicative of that. Look at that dip there. They're over 1,000 net worth lead, coming back, recovering from almost a 4,000 deficit, and they are in about the same with experience, about a 2,000 experience lead for them. They don't have exorcism up for a while, so they won't look to go into Roche with this advantage, but the Shadow Demon is rotating around bottom, and they just had a creep wave to see that there are heroes here, so we'll see if they come down. The Shadow Demon actually just looks to escape any danger and reconvene with his teammates. There is a TP in bottom. Void is split pushing the top lane, but he won't commit to the tower here. He's actually waiting for some rotations with that Mask of Madness and Chrono. He's going to find the Invoker here, so we'll see if he jumps in. He does see the Invoker now, but he looks to take a creep, and he'll look back towards the top. Invoker is playing it safe. He does drop a couple Forge Spirits and go into the trees, so well played by him, good game sense, and the Void will back off knowing that if he dives that deep, any TP rotation can, especially one from the Shadow Demon, can really deter his ability to kill that Invoker there. So 3 bottom. They don't have a smoke, but the Sand King is rotating top to fend off this push from the Ember and the Void, and after using Searing Chains, you're likely to see this Ember back up. He does get hit by a Blink Burrow. The Void will jump in, and Chrono only 1, so the Sand King is not caught in that Chrono. The Ember will activate his Remnant and back out, and the Void will do the same, so they waste a pretty big teamfight ability for this Shadows of the Past squad, but they do not find out this DP here. I'm not sure if he noticed his pathing was slightly blocked there for a moment. The Ember will jump in, and he may get hit with a Silence and a Ravage combo here if they time it well enough. He does get hit by the Euls, the Silence to follow, and the DP will just back off as the Tide was not in range, and they saw the Void there. They did know Chrono was down though, so it was possible that they go in, but they have the rest of their team postured up in the bottom lane, and they'll take an easy offlane tower from Isurus, who will also look to take the offlane tower of the other team, but there are 5 TPs on Shadow of the Path, 3 TPs on Isurus. They will look to do some chip damage into this T3, and there is no one rotating back. So they'll get a lot done. The Void will get here in time, and he'll take out these Necro units, but they take 50% of the health, over 50% now, and he's not looking to take out the right creeps here. Those are the ones with the negative armor there, Ayrock. So captain of Shadows of the Past, a little bit questionable there, and they'll take a good 1,200 health off of this T3 for absolutely no investment except a cooldown on the Necro book. So, and the Necros will even expire before Void gains that bounty. So, really unfortunate there for Shadows of the Past. The gold lead is probably extending pretty heavily. It is the 2,000. There is an Ancient Seal, Concussive Shot, Mystic Flare, and one more right click will not. Oh, there, the Sleight of Fist after the Remnant from the Ember Spirit, and they will look to back off. The Doom still has his Doom available, but he'll get silenced up before he can cast it off, and they'll just take a clean pick on the Shadow Demon there and back up. There is some wards here. I'm not sure if they noticed they were placed. That must have been what the Shadow Demon was doing that far out, but there is some really good vision from Isurus here, not seeing too much from Shadows of the Past. They have this one here that is probably going to be Blink. Maybe. He still has a smoke, but this is probably going to be taken out pretty soon. They have to actually get to the high ground here to see it with that sentry, but Doom will find the Invoker here, and he'll Doom him up. He does end up getting off his Necro units before being doomed, and he has a Tide with him with a Ravage, so I Annihilate will definitely back off here. There is an Ember in the back with a nice Sleight of Fist Bolas combo to keep Isurus from chasing down I Annihilate. And Jakiro with some Liquid Fire Spam will take down the safe lane T1. So good movements there from Shadows of the Past all around, saving one another, grabbing a tower on the other side of the map. So they're looking to keep this game pretty even. Void is actually has 2,300 gold. sitting in his inventory. Not sure if he wants to go for a recovery minus. He does pick up the Mithril Hammer now, so he does want to go straight into a BKB, and I don't think that's a bad choice at all up against the lineup of Isurus. Definitely, any game a Tidehunters in, BKB is worth the money. So that Ravage, once you don't have to worry about that Ravage, you can do a lot more in the team fight. I'm sure Ghosts are physical damage, and they do a lot. But the BKB will be helpful nonetheless. The Sand King's actually sitting on 2,600 gold, so not sure what he'll go for. Maybe a Force Staff, perhaps a Veil of Discord would definitely help his team out a lot. We've already got Ool's Phase and a full Soul Booster with 900 gold up on this DP, so she is definitely fat, sitting at 3rd on the net worth chart. And they're going to look to just do some chip damage into this safe lane tower. We may see an engagement mid. There is a Blink Ravage here. He's going for a Force Staff. There's a Necro 3 up on this Invoker. So, item progression all around pretty good. A lot of heroes hitting their mid-game goals. This mech and BKB to come out on the Doom as well. So the Veiled Discord is picked up by the Sand King, as I mentioned. That's still back in base on the Courier, but definitely a good pickup there. Aids the Ravage, aids the Crypt Swarm, aids the Invoker combo, and the Soul Catcher. And Invoker will actually solo up with his Necro 3s, and Forged Spirits will solo up this Roche. So he'll have quite an experience gain from that, a net worth gain too. And he'll have the Aegis for this engagement. We'll see if they look to defend this tower. They do trade the bottom tower, and they're looking to TP back with the DP coming in, but she'll only have the remnants of her exorcism there, and we will see Shadows of the Past disengage after the Ember activated his remnant there. So they don't have the Chronosphere with them. They do pick up the BKB and level 16 on the Void, so very timely fashion, even though he sits 4th on the net worth chart. There is a Perseverance and a Broadsword, a Claymore, so he only needs the Broadsword to finish off his Battle Fury. It'll be a super late timing, but they do get the Doom plus the Blink War Stomp off on this DP. The Sleight of Fist Bolas does miss, but she will probably tick down here, and they'll back off to avoid the Deafening Blast combo. She actually will survive with that Bloodstone already up. I didn't see that pick up. Wow. So this DP is certainly fat, sitting at 11,000 net worth. Only surpassed by her own teammate and by the Doom. Void will leap up the hill to save his ass there, as there are 4 mid from Isurus. They have the Blink Ravage. They're looking to get a mech, actually, on this Tidehunter. They have Necro 3, the Veil of Discord, and of course we spoke about the item progression of the DP, who's very fat up at this point. They have 20 seconds until the Exorcism. They're looking to want to use this Aegis advantage and probably push into this T2 here with Necro units and Forged Spirits. It's going to drop pretty quickly. There is a fort on the side of Shadows of the Past, but they seem not to use it. They're going to sack this T2 here. Ice Path is going to land just on the Forged Spirits. Doom is going to blink in, and a Sleight of Fist Bolas is going to hit the Invoker. But a Mystic Flare looking to take the Invoker down, and a War Stomp will keep him in place. A couple right clicks, a good Chrono on 3. The Sleight of Fist cleaning people up. A defensive disruption here on the DP, but she will drop to another Sleight of Fist from the Ember. And in the back, they will pick off the Invoker after the Aegis pops. There's an instant buyback from the Sand King, but he only TPs to a tier 2 mid, so that's pretty questionable. And they'll find out the SD at the end of everything, and an awesome engagement there for Shadows of the Past mid. They get the jump in on that Invoker for free. So great Chrono to Crab 3. There's no Ravage, however, and no Exorcism used there, so the defense is real here for Isurus. They'll get an easy T2 mid because they don't want to use buybacks. They do actually have buyback on the Invoker, and it's not up on the Shadow Demon, but they're not so much worried about his input into the team fight, aside from a few defensive disruptions and Soul Catchers. So they do give up the T2 mid, but Shadows of the Past will smartly back off. The Battle Fury is up with an Aquila and Phase for this Ember. He may look to just build his drums with these 2k gold. He may look to grab up another Battle Fury or a Crystallis to add up a little damage. He is definitely not the only source of damage. They have a Void with a Mask of Madness. He's looking into a Mjolnir build. Maybe not Mjolnir, but definitely Maelstrom build after the Mask of Madness and the Black King bar. So Pretty standard from the Void. He's going to look to dish out a lot of damage. This Skywrath actually has a Rod of Aoi up, and he's looking for his Force Staff and is only 100 gold away. So he's definitely well farmed. Take a look at the net worth, and he's above all 3 of the other supports in the game. Albeit the Sand King is certainly close with his Veil. They'll find out the Jakiro with a Yule, Sunstrike, Crypt Swarm, Burrow Strike, and he's dead. So he does get caught out, perhaps farming the jungle or doing some warding by himself, but it's just a support. It's a lot of committal, not in terms of cooldowns, but definitely in terms of heroes for that. So they'll rotate 2 back with TPs to the top lane. There is a Blink Epicenter here with a Burrow Strike and a Veil of Discord, Deafening Blast. A couple right clicks in from the Forge Spirits will finish him off up the hill, and a great kill there from the Invoker, and as well as fullback. So I Annihilate caught out a little too far by himself. He saw the gank go bottom and figured he had a bit of time, but there was no vision after the Jakiro died in this general region. So they did TP back without him knowing, and he was caught out by the Blink initiation from the Sand King. Nice high ground sentry here from the Shadow Demon. I was gonna say, why didn't he put the Observer down? So they got a lot of information in this area now about the movements of Shadows of the Past. We'll have a Force Forward Disruption, Soul Catcher, and the Burrow Strike plus the Crypt Swarm, and a couple right clicks will drop that Jakiro again immediately after dying the first time, and they'll look to take their 5v4 advantage and go uphill. Alacrity popped on Necro, melee Necro unit. The Exorcism is popped. The Concussive Shot will come out and hit this DP, and they'll look to clean up the creeps with a Chrono in and a Mystic Flare. That's an easy DP kill, and the Chrono placement zones out the rest of the team. But I blink back in, Burrow Strike from the Sand King. The Searing Chains will whiff because of the Sandstorm, so great proc by him with a blink in from the Doom. No stomp, but he does get a Doom off of the Tidehunter. There is a combo from the Void, but he pops his BKB a little late. He's got a blink in 3 seconds. The Tide has a blink in 3, so he's got to blink in and stomp him, but he will get away. They will blink in on 2 here. Nice defensive disruption from the Shadow Demon, but he will end up going down. And they will TP out behind the tree line, the Tidehunter and the Invoker, and the Sand King will end up getting away with his blink. So they do get 2 for nothing there, but they actually lost the Jakiro earlier. They got the DP in the Chrono here, as well as the Shadow Demon on the chase out, but I really feel like the priority target there was more the Tide than chasing the Shadow Demon, and the Doom blinked up. I Annihilate blink upwards here rather than this way towards the Tide. I guess he figured the Doom would tick him out, but it just wasn't enough with the HP pool he has. The Doom will pick up his Shiva's Guard recipe. He has 1800 gold, so he's about 900 gold away from his Shivas. He's already got the plate mail in his inventory, and that's going to help out his team a lot versus the Spirits, as well as some of the Invokers right-click with him and his summons. We still have the Ember not going for much here. He didn't die in that engagement, so he hasn't been punished for being a little conservative with his gold, but he hasn't picked up anything yet, and Radiant's Courier dies with a 200, so it probably just had some wards on it. That's nonetheless unfortunate. 175 gold going the way of all the heroes on Isurus, and we take a look. This Invoker is fat as hell. He's got Necro 3, Force, Ultimate Orb, Midas, and 1900 gold to his name, so almost 2k gold. He's well on his way to a sheep. 700 more will grab him up that Mystic Staff, and he is leading the net worth. Papita also looking good, despite having died quite a bit after that Bloodstone pickup, and that's where this investment of almost 5,000 gold becomes, I mean, underwhelming, really, is the word. It's at 4 charges. If you don't snowball well with that item, it just doesn't end up being a great investment. So we'll see if he ends up getting a few more charges out through some team fights. The Doom is a 100 gold off, and so they'll give him this camp here after dropping in a bit with the Liquid Fire, and he'll have his Shivas up. Actually, the Shivas will come out simultaneously on the enemy DP, so going to see some Ice Blast in the next team fight. Jakiro really playing a hard 5 just with 4 staff and a casual cloak. But I really do like this pickup of the cloak. It is really well worth the investment, especially versus the lineup of Isurus. If he's able to just survive, he will get hit by a Sunstrike and a Blink Burrow Strike combo, but they will invest the Chrono for the return on the Sand King without killing the Jakiro, and perhaps the cloak there actually does save him. Doom jumps up and Doom's DP, and they give chase with the Ember and the Searing Chains, and they'll clean that up. A little bit of save your friend syndrome here from Isurus. They definitely should have just let that pickoff on the Sand King occur, but they rotate in to look to take something and actually end up giving up one of their cores. She did just buy her Shiva's Guard, so it doesn't set her back in terms of item progression, but it is a feed over to the other team, something you never want to do. They'll have this Doom, he's going to rotate back to grab his recipe for Shiva's Guard, and they'll potentially look to take Roche. They do jump the Void in. It looks like the Skywrath will maybe, yep, he'll sit high ground and spam a few Arcane Bolts. They definitely should, actually they have vision up here, but I still feel they should sit one high ground, at least with a Concussive Shot, Ancient Seal, so there's no jumping into the pit here. The DP is down, as is the Sand King, so that's a lot of their initiation, but they will scout this out with a Sunstrike, and they'll notice that it's only at half health. The Shadow Demon does have his Force Staff on cooldown, so he can't get there in time, but they are looking to defend this, and we'll see if they come in with the Ravage. The Ravage is... the Ice Path is going to hit on 2, and the bomb from the Ember Spirits is beautiful here. The Ravage is going to hit 3, but the Chrono on 2 after the Exorcist, and the Epicenter is in the Chrono doing a lot of work here. But they'll bring down the Sand King before they are brought down, and he will actually, the Ember will actually tick out to the Invoker's combo. The Meatball there. The Dust actually does not hit on this Invoker, and he will Ghost Walk away, but they still get a 4 for 1, and they'll take this Roche. With the right clicks from the Void there. So, and no Doom was used in that fight. So they have definite potential to go up ground with this Aegis here. No one wants it though. The Void will pick up the Aegis. He's got 3,700 gold to his name with a Maelstrom. So if he wants that Mjolnir, it's his, and he will purchase the Hyperstone. So it is going to be his fairly soon. There is 4,500 gold on this Invoker, so he has managed to not die in a lot of these engagements, sitting on a KDA of 4, 6, and 3. He will force forward and try and get a Cold Snap off on this Skywrath. He'll Alacrity himself, but the Skywrath will force himself away, and also had a Rod of Owie if he needed to slow up that Invoker there. Yeah, so the Invoker does have the best KDA on his team, and that seems as so in this game. He hasn't died as much as most of his teammates, but look at that Skywrath, that Mystic Flare doing work. Great, that combo has worked out to great effect for them, the Void Skywrath, as opposed to how it went for top 5 in the game 1 tonight. So some excellent play from SP comboing up their abilities. They really need to stop this Invoker from farming. The Jakiro will pick up a Hood of a Defiance, so he'll end up being a little more tanky. Presumably he's building into that pipe for his team. Not sure when it will come, but he will grab that up. DP still sitting on our items, but the Mystic Staff is picked up by the Invoker, so that's going to help out their team fight quite a bit. If they're able to get off that Sheep on the Void before he gets his Chrono off, we saw how effective that was with the Queen of Pain they ran last game, so definitely a necessity for their team fight here. Jakiro will force himself into the trees to get out of range of that Shadow Poison Vision, and he'll TP out, as will the Doom, who had the Blink. So a little split pushing going on from the Sand King here. He'll posture up in the trees and maybe wait for rotations from his 2 teammates here to see if they can find a solo farmer here, but the creep wave will reveal that there's at least 2 bot lanes, so he will back off and look to farm up the Radiant jungle a bit. And everyone seems to be pretty content to farm at this point. Doom probably looking for what the Sand King was looking for bottom, and that's a solo target here to jump in Shiva's Doom. With the Shivas, that definitely gives him the ability to chase down any target he would jump in and Doom, but he'll jump in and clean up this creep wave, devour one of the Forge Spirits, always one of my favorite things to do as a Doom playing up against an Invoker. That's just so frustrating. But Isurus will keep all the lanes pushed out here, so Shadows of the Past will have a smoke and look to rotate what it seems to be into the jungle. But knowing that all the lanes are pushed up and that no one is currently defending, this is pretty obvious to Isurus. So they'll actually posture up bot lane and look to make SP come back and defend, and that's exactly what they'll do here. So TP's in, and we'll see. There's a defensive spirit drop from this Ember here. Concussive shot gonna go out. A little sleight of fist bolus combo will not latch onto the Invoker, but they will chip away at this tower as they did in the top, and it's about at half health. They didn't do too much work to it in this small skirmish, but it is sitting at half health, as is this top tower, which is sitting at sub half health, and they'll look to TP back and defend. There is a Jakiro here. He is just planting some deep wards to give them some information, but Isurus by far has the better vision right now. They've got this jungle ward here, rune ward, and the ancient ward, so Sand King being a little aggressive here. He may get jumped on, and he does. Concussive shot's going to hit him. They're going to have dust. They'll Ancient Seal him up and finish him off with a few right clicks. Ancient Seal actually does increase the damage of Time Lock because it is magical, so that's an easy kill there for Shadows of the Past. Not sure about using Sandstorm there preemptively. I'm not sure if he used it before a right click of the Skywrath. If he did, he was probably able to blink out instead, but because the Void just leapt over him, so that definitely wouldn't put him into combat, I don't believe. The slow may have done that, but I'm not completely sure. Either way, he's caught out a little too far, and that's a free pick for Shadows of the Past. They'll look to take this unhealthy tower, T2 in the offlane. Definitely not an important tower in terms of map control, but it is their last avenue, access point to the Roshan pit, as their mid towers are gone, so pretty significant nonetheless. It also does give, of course, the influx of gold to Shadows of the Past. We'll see if they get cocky enough to go high ground here. There's only 4 of them here, so they'll just send the Void in, who's got the Chrono, keep the Doom and the Skywrath in the back with Blink Initiation from them. He'll get Yulesed up, so a little bit scary here. He does get silenced, so he can't timely, but he'll just continue to right-click away at this tower, and I'm surprised it's not Gennaro saying, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch! Let me right-click this!" So he'll back up as he takes a little bit of harass from the spells, but they just let him take half their tower there, much the way the Invoker did on their top lane racks, so a little bit questionable. They obviously were wary of the Doom having a Blink Dagger and the Ember Spirit's obvious mobility there, so Ember was not with them, but he probably just appeared at this bottom, and he actually goes for Scotty this game, so definitely an unusual build, but nice to jump around and splash that slow on the enemy, move slow and attack slow of 35 apiece, so that's a pretty oddly one that can be seen as effective. So Isurus did look to chase out there, but the Blink Burrow did whiff on the Void, who was already leaping out by the time the Burrow was cast. So Ember is also sitting with another 3,400 gold, so we'll see if he looks to go anywhere else with that. The full Mjolnir is complete on the Void, the Shivas, and another plate mail out on the on Annihilate, so he's looking to build into an AC, which will definitely help them out versus this DP, and also help the right clicks of their team. We'll see if he looks to get a pack leader or from the Alpha Wolf creep later on to further increase the effectiveness of the right click of his team, but probably not needed. They probably hang on to the War Stomp considering how big his mana pool is, and it's just an extra disable, albeit it has a small radius, but it is just an extra disable to blink in and use, especially with his BKB. It's pretty reliable. This Death Prophet, Papita, has just had, it's almost night and day compared to this game. If you compare this game and last game, he was steamrolling for top 5 last game, but it has 1 charge on this Bloodstone. You may as well sell this and replace it with a GG branch at this point. This is just a completely useless item with 1 charge, so they're going to have to take a few team fights. Ember is just barely going to whiff the Searing Chains there, and she'll Yules him up and TP out safely. Doesn't really have much to lose though, considering 1 charge on the Bloodstone. But Ags is up on Invoker, so he'll be able to do a lot more damage with his combos in these team fights, and we'll see if he looks to go on the Ember. He does get a Tornado. Ember will activate his Remnant and get out before dying, but that's just a window there, just a little bit of a preview into the amount of damage he can do with this Axe. He also does have a Hex, so if he was quick enough to force in there and Hex, he may have had a chance to kill that Ember bottom, but obviously the Remnant has a very quick cast point. The Sand King did blink into the trees here. Not sure if the F4L had a smidgen of vision on him there, but it doesn't seem as so. And we'll see if he starts to channel the Epi, and we'll know when they decide to go in by that. And he is channeling the Epi. He's going to jump in now. Blink, Burrow onto, Epi onto. He will drop the Veil. And, oh, but the Mystic Flare and the Ice Path will hit them both, and the Sleight of Fist will clean him up, so they sustain through that Mystic Flare, and there'll be enough Doom on the backlines with his BKB pop, popping the Doom on the Death Prophet. The Sleight of Fist will clean up the Invoker inside that Chrono, and a 3 Spirit Bomb plus 1 last right click will clean up the Tide Hunter. The Ember will be distracting Isurus while their Rax is being taken on the other side of the fight, and after the buyback from the Invoker, he needs to be careful here. He's going to get hit by a Shiva's and an Ice Path with an Ancient Seal and an Arcane Bolt, but he'll get defensively disrupted, and the jump in Ravage on 4, and they will bring down the Doom. They will continue to right click the rest, and Void will time leave out, and a nice Ice Path will get 3 there. The Jakiro will try to get out, but he will get sheeped and quickly Yules right after, so he will fall too, and a great engagement for Isurus. They only lose a T3 there. They expend a buyback from the Invoker, so and from the Tide, actually, so they did lose 3 heroes. It was a 3-for-4 exchange. I figured that when the Ember was being chased so deeply into this side of their map that the Raxes were going down more, but the Invoker was there to deter the push, and they had a fort as well, so that actually turned out to be a good engagement. They did expend a lot of buybacks though, and there are buybacks for everyone except the Jakiro on the Radiant side, so they're gonna run down mid lane just to presumably force these buybacks. I don't feel that they feel they have enough. They certainly do have enough to bring down this mid tower, but a blink in, jump in BKB Void. He will refresh and double Chrono, and he'll get the Shadow Demon as well, and have enough to overlap the Invoker. So great play by Narok there. They will give chase with the Ember Spirit. His Sleight of Fist bolas will not hit, but he does clean up the Shadow Demon with the Flame Guard there, and they do find the gem, so big giveaway from Isurus. I'm not sure why they thought they could fight that. There were buybacks on everyone. I figured they were just coming down the mid lane to force out those buybacks, and then they would back. Doom trying to kill out the Tide here without expending his Doom, so a little greedy from him. He looks to be, yeah, he will pop the Doom on the Sand King. There is no one to defend him with 2 down, knowing that the Tide Hunter is backing. The only other hero was the DP, and he was nowhere within range. Jakiro fishing with an Ice Path there, but a nice solo kill from the Doom, so despite not getting the Tide because of saving his ult, he definitely doesn't save it on the Sand King there. He looked to TP into the mid, nice Crypt Swarm by Pepita to delay that, so this push will be a little bit delayed, but knowing that there's no buyback on this Invoker, they're going to take this lane of Rax with ease, and they'll probably take 2. The AC is not up yet on this Doom, or they would be taking this a lot quicker, but they will finish off the top Rax, look to take the mid Rax. Jakiro will look to zone out the enemy heroes just by standing there. She will pop the Exorcism though, and the Void will blink in with his BKB and Chrono her, and the Mystic Flare will finish her off, and he will not get Ravage because of his BKB here. It is down though. The Ravage will go up before the Tide falls, but he will fall immediately thereafter, and the Void will get Force Staff backwards into safety, so they will get nothing for their troubles and lose quite a few. They buy back on the DP, but she's just useless without an Exorcism, so they take another lane of Rax with ease, and they disengage without losing much. They will get a disruption off on this Ember, but the Silence has already been used. He'll get Force Staff back by the Skywrath, and he will Remnant up ground and TP out. So great disengage by F4L there. A little bit of a nice Force Staff usage by the Jakiro on the TPing Skywrath. So excellent play there, and they really punished Isurus for coming up mid with all their buybacks. Isurus will look to go into Roche though, so smart decision here from them. they'll get what they can out of that loss, and expending the buyback on the DP and waiting out the timers for the rest of their hero, knowing that Shadows of the Past had to back there. But 2 lanes of racks and quite a few kills for Roshan is a trade that Shadows of the Past will take every day of the week. So it's looking excellent for them. The refresher out on the Void really helped them out mid there, and he got his chrono back up for the fight in the mid rack. So he's still got 3,800 gold to his name. He can look to sell that TP scroll and grab a real damage item. Maybe a Daedalus comes out here. Don't really expect to see a BKB, or MKB I should say, considering the heroes on the opponent's side. Ember did pick up a Daedalus, so we'll see if he looks to round it out with 2 Battle Furies or a couple Daedaluses. Scotty has worked out for him thus far. You saw him survive there mid, so that's the one thing about the Scotty that it has as an advantage over others. There will be a jump in mid. The chrono will hit on 1. DP will be used out, but immediately Doom, when she's back down, and the Invoker will have been disrupted, but they do pick off the Shadow Demon in the meantime. Invoker forces up ground. He will get the Hex off, but an Arcane Bolt and a Sleight of Fist combo will clean him up. They'll pop the Aegis there, and he will be all by his lonesome, and fullback will call the GG. So excellent game played by the Americans here to take out the South American squad, despite having played a great game earlier. So all commends go to them. Their initiation was pretty much flawless, almost always started by Nayrock and sometimes by Annihilate. So really good draft there. I said that their draft looked really stable on the draft screen, and it definitely turned out that way. Not terrible play from Isurus by any stretch of the imagination. There was definitely no one point in the game that seemed to be the turning point, but that march down mid did seem a little bit overzealous and a little bit of blind rage there. So they thought that they could push their advantage, but as soon as those buybacks came out, they definitely should have backed, and Void made them pay, and that was the end of the game from there. So well played by Shadows of the Past. We'll have them face up against top 5 next, who have lost 3 out of 3 games today, so hopefully they can redeem themselves, or maybe Shadows of the Past look to roll and go 2-0 tonight. Thanks for joining me for Game 2. I am More Rage Please, Dota, your resident Canadian caster. If you haven't already, Dota 2 Canada Cup Season 3 ticket is on the Dota store for $5.99, and it comes with a beautiful little Bearski courier, so go pick that up, watch it in Dota TV, or come back here and watch for the 3rd game. So I'll see you guys in a few. Thanks for watching.
There's nobody left in the world who could ever shake my faith. Holding me back, holding this back, don't you see? You can count on me, put it down on me, 'cause now it's all on me. time comes, be ready. Don't you hesitate. There's nobody left in the world who could ever shake my faith. Holding me back, no holding this back. Don't you see? You can count on me, put it down on me, 'cause now it's all on me.
welcome back, Dota 2 fans, ladies and gentlemen. I am not your DJ. I am your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster, more H please Dota. You can find me at MRP_Dota on Twitter and MRP_Dota on Twitch TV. Top right into the draft, we got our third game of the Dota 2 Canada Cup tonight. Shadows of the Past looking real sharp in their previous game, especially the play of Nayrok, the captain, on the Void, and I Annihilate on the Doombringer. They're going to face off against top 5, who has had a very lackluster day, both in ESL 1 and so far in the Dota 2 Canada Cup. We're going to have Shadows of the Past once again on the Radiant side. They're going to ban out the Lycan and the DP, despite beating the DP last game. They're tired of it. They're tired of her, so they're going to ban her out. We're going to get a Skywrath and a Razor ban. So maybe we'll get some interesting picks in this meta. Not something too familiar. Hopefully we don't see a Brewmaster. And maybe we'll get something like a Meepo. Who knows? We actually saw a Meepo yesterday in the Dota 2 Canada Cup. I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but it wasn't amazing. So if you want to go to twitch.tv/Dota2 Canada Cup for the official stream there, you can probably find the VODs from yesterday where the Meepo was picked up. I'm trying to recall who actually played it. I think it was THD versus Thundercats in the second game of the night. THD went for that Meepo pick, but it didn't end up working out extremely well. But there's a reason for that, and that's because Chrysalid from the Thundercats played absolutely out of his mind, so definitely a fun game to watch. They're going to use up quite a bit of time on this first pick in Shadows of the Past. Not sure, maybe discussing the full draft there, but they'll pick a pretty steady hero in the Doom, a hero that they played in the safe lane, coming out of the jungle at around 2 minutes last game on I Annihilate. So they'll grab up the Doom, nothing to shake a stick at, and the Void will be picked up by top 5. He won't be coupled with the Skywrath, which they actually banned out themselves, but they will grab up the Shadow Shaman. So pick potential here, push potential, so pretty strong all-around support. Definitely a greedy 4 more as opposed to a 5, but we do see the Brew. So, you know, screw me. And it will come out from Shadows of the Past, so we'll see who ends up playing that. Whether it'll be an off lane or a mid Brew. Generally don't see the safe lane Brew, so unless he's a solo and they're running an aggro try. So they will proceed to ban out the Nature's Prophet, so denying up the Nature's Wrath and the TP in to help out with the Void picks. So definitely a good ban. Also something that couples well with the Shadow Shaman for the early push as soon as those wards are up with the Treants. So
reserve time.
Certainly a solid ban from Shadows of the Past. They'll get into their reserve time on top 5 to look who they're gonna ban here. But we'll see what direction they go. I'm not sure if top 5 just wants to go home at this point in the night. They've had 3 pretty poor performances today, so we'll see the strength of their team morale here. We'll see their mental stamina. They've been playing since about 2 p.m. Eastern today, I believe, was their first game. 1 or 2 p.m. Against Complexity in ESL 1 New York. So they got 2-0'd there. They were a heavy underdog in that match, so nothing anyone didn't expect, but definitely not an encouraging day for them.
10 seconds
they will end up banning the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor is definitely a hero I would have considered would couple well with the Void, so they just didn't want to see it. They banned out the Witch Doctor. I guess they don't want to see that Voodoo Restoration assist any push that Shadows of the Past will end up picking up, or D-push for that matter. So again, they're going to ban out a little bit more mobility, a little more global strat with the Ember Spirit on the Shadows of the Past side. So pretty intelligent bans here. They definitely have a game plan in mind
5 seconds remaining.
with this Brew Doom 2-core pickup at the start. Both drafts still pretty wide open. Shadows of the Past are definitely going to look to team fight if they get that split off. They'll at least have the one Brewling that can move around despite the chrono, and hopefully they can get the doom off, which we've seen pretty much examples of all night. That we've seen Void in the few games he's been hexed up, he's been orchided, he's been doomed. So that 0.35 cast second of the chronosphere has really hindered him, and aside from last game, which was almost a flawless Void game from Shadows of the Past, he was really stopped dead in his tracks to open up with the chrono there. So top 5 eating a lot into the reserve time. They're going to pick up a Mirana here, so definitely another support, if played as support, that can couple well with the Void. They can definitely play it as an offlane Mirana, which is not so common in this meta, or has been in the last few patches. They can play her mid, or they can play the Void offlane and have the Mirana core. But I think if they want the one position Void here, they'll definitely have this Mirana as support. Something Chuan and YYF used to do a lot was this sort of roaming Mirana Void combo once the Chronosphere is up. But they won't ban out the Vengeful Spirit, and something we saw Isurus used to great effectiveness against top 5 was the Venge, so top 5 going to have to deal with the Venge once again, swapping targets out of the Chrono. So definitely something they didn't want to see there, but banning up the Witch Doctor and the Pugna for the push, or the D-push for that matter, they kind of backed themselves into a corner. So the Venge is picked up, very strong support for Shadows of the Past, very good against the Chronosphere or the Void. And also against the Shadow Shaman when he's stagnant, and Shackling can swap him off the Shackle, can stun him. A Wave of Terror plus the Aura, if it's skilled up at all, will drop this SS real quick as he's got a low HP pool. They will pick up the Silencer, so we will get an interesting pick, having the Skywrath and the DP banned out early. So we see the Silencer from top 5 here. Generally, you see that as a core one-position Silencer. I'm certainly an advocate of the philosophy that Silencer is trash can in any other role but 1 or 2. I don't mind seeing him mid, I don't mind seeing him in the safe lane, but he's got to get his levels and he's got to get them quick, or he becomes pretty much nothing but a 4, 5, 6 second silence. So I believe that's what the durations are on his ultimate. Getting a little bit of lag here, guys. Yeah, 5, 6, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, that's correct. So 5, 6, and 7 with a Scepter. But if he doesn't get up early farm, I feel like he's more or less useless. So another tool to try and stop the Doom, stop the Primal Split. So hopefully that'll work out for them. Hopefully they use it in a 1 role, which will relegate this Mirana presumably to a support, unless they run the Silencer mid with a 1 Mirana and the Void off lane. So we'll see what top 5 wants to do. They end up banning out the Shadow Shaman. Obvious 3 cores in the Doom, Brew, and Viper for Shadows of the Past. So they just take out a good solid support and good defensively. Against the Silence, against the Chrono, the Arrow. So good ban from them, and they'll look to find another support to round out their lineup. We'll see what they ban here. Shadows of the Past will be revealing what they think the roles of these current heroes are for the top 5. If they end up banning out a support, then they're definitely expecting a core Mirana. So they do ban out the Tinker, so they're expecting a support Mirana here, as would I. I don't think the core Mirana is strong enough to go up against a Viper, Doom, and a Brew. She just doesn't scale well. Survivability enough. I don't think the leap is enough to get away from the Wind Panda with the Cyclone and then into the Earth Boulder, so as well as the Doom for that matter. So definitely a smart ban. They take out the Tinker. We'll probably look to see a mid or a 1 position here. Perhaps even an offlaner. Centaur is still in the pool. Definitely some good initiation. They still have the Tide here, and they pick up the Quap. So something that was done to them in game 1 by Isurus Gaming, they're going to try and do back. So heavy magic damage lineup here from top 5. Sonic Wave into the Chrono, Shadow Strike into the Chrono, a little mobility with the Queen of Pain here. So Hopefully we do see this Silencer run as a core and not a support, with the Murano Shadow Shaman roaming or aggressive try combo there. But we'll see
10
what top
seconds
5 end up
remaining.
wanting to do. We'll see by the player selections here. And
5
Shadows of the
seconds
Past definitely going to
remaining.
round out their lineup with a solid support here. I wouldn't mind seeing
Reserve time.
Disruptor. I feel like a lot of their heroes are kind of, you got the leap out, you've got leap out, time leap, and or time walk and leap out, as well as the blink out from the cop. So, but they do pick up the Wraith King, so big slow, a support that's not necessarily an appealing chronosphere target. So good solid pick for them. They got the big AoE slow from Reincarnation. Hopefully he'll get up a Blink Dagger, which adds some initiation to their lineup. They'll probably have presumably 2 blinks on the Doom and the Brew by that point.
Dire team pick.
So I Annihilate will pick up the Brew, so it may be an offlane Brew. It probably will be with the safe lane Doom and Viper in the mid. Nayrok did play the offlane last game, so we'll see if he goes back that direction with the Doombringer, but
Prepare for
that could be a safe lane
battle.
Brew. It does give him more farm. Doom always has Devour as a mechanism to farm back up, so I wouldn't mind that choice at all from Shadows of the Past. They're going to send Legendary, I believe this is Legendary, to the off lane with the Void, Faceless Void, with the Queen of Pain in the mid, and Silencer is built with 8 tangles, so he's built as if the supports may not be with him entirely. They may be roaming, but he is. He seems to be built as a 1 position. There's a ward and a smoke on the Murano, so that's definitely a smart decision from them. As I said, earlier today, Beyond played a core Warlock, so I believe he's a core player for top 5. And it's definitely a good decision from them, considering that the Silencer
30
is terrible
seconds to
without
battle.
good farm. Void will look to see if anything is warded here, and to get an idea of the lanes. He does spot out the Wraith King, so he knows the supports are bottom, so it's probably a safe lane try with this Brewmaster, is what they're thinking. Doom actually seemed to have got up there quick. He did go boots first, so he got up here quick, planted a nice observer ward. This is going to give him a lot of information about where the supports are going, so they'll look
The
to check
battle
out the rune, which
begins.
ends up being bottom, and it is an invis. So the Venge will sit on this rune for the moment being, and possibly look to rotate mid. This Viper could pick up her orb, but she doesn't. She'll take the invis and go bottom and see if they can get. They won't get a pick on this Void unless they stack their stuns really well, get a nice time clap in. He doesn't have backtrack, so we'll take a look here and see if he gets initiated on. The Doom is suspect too. There is an Ether Shock level 1, so he's not going to get arrowed, presumably. And we'll see if they pop on this Void. I'll try to watch the Doom's health. He was probably Ether Shock there. The Wraith King is looking to zone out the Void, and the Venge has backed up to go stack the camp here, so they're not going to go on them early enough. Let's bring out the Last Hits Denies and just check out how the lanes are going. This Brew is going to get apparent free farm as long as his supports stay around. F4L just being a nuisance in the Void, he's going to throw a Wraith Fire Blast on him and use quite a bit of his mana pool just to harass him out of experience range, and they're doing about the same with this Doom. He's almost sitting at level 2 though, and this Void is not even halfway through level 1, so he'll back up, look to block up his creep wave so he can get some units under his tower. The mid matchup will probably go fairly evenly. Both of these heroes, known as lane dominators, both have a really good right click. Viper did level up the Nether Toxin level 1 to help him last hit, but as you see, it's 5 and 5 up against the 5 and 2 of the Cops, so pretty even lane there. Silencer is getting a lot of farm top, so Doom not able to contest this lane at all. He hasn't even been able to use his Devour yet, so definitely some pulls coming out. And they may find the Doom here. The arrow is on cooldown, so not sure if she shot that mid. Wasn't exactly watching, but maybe to scout out. There is a rune bottom. It will be an illusion, and the Venge will either sit on it or pick it up, and probably just pick it up. Generally, Vipers don't build bottles, so she'll use this to maybe throw a magic missile on the Void and harass him out. We'll see. She'll just use it for lane presence at the moment. There is a Mirana with a Clarity mid here, so we'll see if they look to take out this Viper. He's got to level up in Corrosive Skin. I think he's a little too tanky to go down here. Queen of Pain only has 1 level up in her Scream, so she's actually going to look to take out the Courier and is going to be presumably successful in doing so. She gets a couple right clicks into this, and that's going to be probably a Wraith Band, I'm going to guess, for that. Well, it was 450, so boots for this Viper, so super unfortunate for him. A nice little influx of gold into top 5's. You can see that spike there into top 5's pockets, and she'll immediately smoke and look to shoot an arrow here, and it will land. What a great arrow from this Mirana. That's a 5-second stun. There's a Shadow Strike and a Scream of Pain into her, and a few right clicks, and this Viper's going to go down, only having the 1 level in Corrosive Skin. So excellent play from Sevi7 there. Just wonderful. Picks off the Couriers, hangs around, smokes, gives the illusion that she backs up and hits a great 5-second arrow on that Viper. So Silencer dominating the CS board. Brew not far behind. He's about 1 wave behind him at 21 and 9 for this Silencer, but he's just getting total free farm. We'll see if he looks to do this kind of Cloud9 Envy Ags rush here. Not exactly sure what he's going to go, but Ags isn't as amazing in this game as it usually is, just because the Viper will proc his Corrosive Skin once that Curse of the Silent hits. He is building Last Word right now, so it doesn't seem like he's going to be maxing Curse of the Silent, and I'd agree with that build in this game. I don't think that the Ags is particularly useful here. Mirana does have enough for an arrow here, but with the Scorched Earth and the base health pool of this Doom, he'll probably be fine. He does have his Tranquils up whenever he can get them delivered, which is no time soon, but however, despite losing first blood, they are really zoning this Void out. He's not even level 3 yet. We see the Doom is at level 3, so well ahead of his laning equivalent. And the Brew has caught up to the Silencer there after harassing the Doom out a bit, and Void will have to time walk out to save himself. Sevi again postured up mid, looking for this arrow. We'll see if she throws it. They don't have vision. Yeah, it's nighttime, so they don't have vision of this Viper quite yet. But as soon as the creep wave comes down, they'll take a look and probably look to hit this. This Mirana is level 2, so I mean, she's keeping up with the supports just because of that first kill, but the Shadow Shaman is level 3, and as is the Wraith King, so a little bit pulling ahead of her. If she doesn't make a move soon, she'll probably look to rotate somewhere else. Courier does come in here. She will drop the arrow, but it will whiff well south of the Viper, and the Viper will pick up his boots that were coming on the Courier before. He's got a finished Aquila, so not doing too bad, sitting up at 22 and 16 against the 21 and 6 of the Cop. However, that Cop does have the 1 kill and the first blood gold that comes with it. So does have a bottle and a Null's Talisman, as well as 900 gold to her name. We'll see if she goes for the Orchid Rush in this game. Brown Boots Orchid Rush, but a couple skills in this orb are doing a hell of a lot of damage to her. Mirana does pick up the regen and is going to land an arrow on this Doom here, but is not going to have enough without a Starfall to kill him, and he'll just walk away.
Haste!
There's a haste popped on this Queen of Pain mid. She does have her ult, so maybe they're looking to hit another massive arrow here to take out this Viper. If an arrow is hit, a Blink Sonic Wave Scream will definitely be enough to kill this Viper, but I don't think they're going to have it. The arrow does fly, and it will be dodged by the Viper. He will get hit by a Scream and a Shadow Strike. She won't commit the Sonic Wave here. She may now, but she gets Viper struck, and the Magic Stick will keep up the Viper. The TP rotation's in, and a couple of orb attacks. One will whiff after being disjointed by the leap, but she'll get chased down here. The Wave of Terror will be on her, but she should be fine. And so some really heads-up play here from the Viper. Sorry about that showcase view. To turn and fight with the couple of Magic Stick charges does he have, and he'll definitely look to get up that mech soon. He did maybe anticipate dying there, buying out his items, but rather better to be safe than sorry. So there are Tranquils up on this Doom. He's got a little bit more lane presence. He just hit level 4. Void's still sitting at 3.5, not even quite 3.5. So Void really not working out for this top 5 lineup this game. They're going to look to go in on this Queen of Pain, but they really don't have any initiating ability here, so she should be safe for now with her blink queued up. So pretty passive laning stage. Silencer and Brew topping the net worth as would be expected by their CS. The one thing about this safe lane Brew is he'll have a pretty awesome blink timing. Nothing amazing, nothing 6 or 7 minutes, but certainly around the 10-minute mark, and so similar to being mid, but just not quite as much of an influx of gold from these creep waves. So hasn't missed much CS. Definitely doing well. With this Mirana roam, it's worked out for the one first blood, but she's really under leveled at this point, and so it becomes underwhelming. The Shadow Shaman is only level 3, not quite level 4. The Doom will rotate in and devour a creep. He's got the War Stomp, but he doesn't have the mana to sustain it. The Quap will look to harass into the Viper, and the Void will timely bell, but he'll get hit by a Wraithfire Blast, and there are 2 TPs in with the Clap, and the Primal Split committed here. The Cop will jump down, blink, and Scream of Pain, and with one right click she'll finish off the Venge here, but with no mana, she does have a blink out now, so she'll be fine. There are 2, one Bruling is down. That would be the Wind Bruling, and Annihilate will come back with a Clap. A very nice Global Silence will be used, and he'll be able to TPL without being stunned. It was a nice Wraithfire Blast, I was going to say, to cancel that Shackle there to save his teammate by F4L. So they lose one there with the Venge. The Cop will look to re-engage after sipping some bottle charges here, but not sure if they'll be able to chase down this Wraith King. He does have a smoke, but he will have some pathing issues and walk back into the Void's face, and they'll feed him one. He'll backtrack one of the hits from the tower, and that'll be enough to keep him up. He'll pop his Salve here and maybe grab a Mask. Not sure exactly what he wants to go here.
Radiant's bottom tower
Although meanwhile, the Silencer's been farming well, keeping the Doom with no mana pool, and he's at 63 for 30 CS. So Viper's also been farming in the mid. He's almost got his mech up. He's about 800 gold or so away from that with Aquila and Brown Boots, and he'll look to take this rune top, which is an illusion rune. So not a GG rune by any respect. They've got their Ancients stacked once, but there is a Dire Sentry Ward here preventing it from being stacked anymore. Not that they really have any heroes that are known for clearing Ancient stacks so much. So Doom must have done that, rotating down on his one time. Silencer is still doing very well. He's got his Midas up and 900 gold. He's sitting at level 9. At the top of the chart with the Queen, his teammate, the Queen of Pain, from the mid. Viper will be level 9 shortly, as will the Brew. So everything's sitting pretty square at this point. 1,000 gold lead and 1,500 experience lead for top 5, but nothing insurmountable for sure. They'll posture up bottom. They've got a Primal Split in 5 seconds, and they'll look to take this tower. And I Annihilate dancing around looking for positioning here. He won't jump on this Void knowing that he has a time leap, but he will zone him out and grab the creep so that the wave can keep attacking this tower.
Bottom tower is under attack.
We'll see if the Viper looks to rotate in. He does, and with the Nether Toxin they will drop this tower real quick without the need for the Brewmaster. So they get the first tower of the game, but Cop's looking to push into the middle tower. They use the fort to keep it up, and they'll be fine. Doom does not have enough mana to doom her here, and she'll bounce up and get real aggressive. She'll hit the Sonic Wave, and one more right click despite the Scorched Earth Bringer will kill her, and she'll blink out in a timely manner. So excellent play by Fly there to get the kill. Know exactly what he needed. He saved the Sonic Wave until the Doom was just low enough for it to be almost a kill, and then blinked out So excellent play there not to get hit by that magic missile and the TP rotations, but SP will look to immediately take the middle tower knowing that their top tower is being forced in. Mirana will rotate mid, so they'll bring 3 here and maybe look to hit a big arrow, and it will land on the Viper, but a jump in, clap, and a primal split. The Boulder and the Wraithfire Blast will ensure the kill on this Mirana. They will actually expend the Chrono to save her life, so admirable play here from Legendary, or whatever his name is on this Void, to get that win pennant. But he will pay with his life with a blink in, clap, and a Wraithfire Blast. There is a DD rune pop on this quad, but she's not looking to go in, even though there's low mana pool on everyone here. There is a stun back up on the Wraith King, so well advised decision by her. The Doom still hasn't been used in this game so far. He is going for a recovery Midas, so he'll have that up at about 15 minutes, and we'll see if there's an engagement mid. There has been an Ether Shotgun too. The mech charge is popped. The blink in, crit, and the clap on the SS will finish him off. The silencer will curse up the Viper, but he'll be brought down by these orb attacks for sure. Nether Toxin doing a lot of work at this point. He'll dodge up the arrow, and it'll be cleaned up by one last right click from the Panda. So he's a little in his cups right now with a couple of assists to his name. He actually didn't get that kill. Viper actually ticked out the silencer, surprisingly enough, so he's 0-3. So Shadows of the Past doing well. They've grabbed up a couple of towers. They're still down in kills, but grabbed a few return kills there, and they've got the Blink Dagger up on their brew, as was said before. This Midas is going to come out soon for the Doom, and the mech is up on the Viper. Popped it mid to save a couple of teammates there. Mirana has recovered fairly well. She's still under leveled, but she has her phase boots, so presumably pretty survivable here at this point. The Void doesn't have Chrono up for 20 seconds. The Treads come out for the Viper. They will drop a Wraithfire Blast and a Doom on this SS, so committal is high. The arrow will whiff to trying to catch someone on the way out, but the Chrono is up in 5 seconds, so if they group up on this tower, they're fixing to get hit by a sonic wave on 4, so they do disperse a bit intelligently, and we'll see if the Void looks to jump in. They will pop the mech, and he will look to Chrono too, but he whiffs, and the Doom actually does walk into it. He will back out, and the sonic wave will hit on the Venge and the Viper. The Viper will get cleaned up, as will the Mirana by a few right clicks from the Doom. The Wraith King's gonna go down here, but he's got his ult, but there's no one looking to re-engage with him here. So Doom is down, the silence goes out, he's cursed, and everyone's going to drop. Jump in, clap from the Brewmaster will try to clean up the SS, but he'll drop the wards, and a scream of pain from the Cop will clean up the Brewmaster on the high ground. The Venge looking to get out, but he'll throw a magic missile and accept his fate before he dies with the blink in from the Cop. Not sure they'll be able to chase down this Doom. He's got 10 magic stick charges, and he's just going to fight under the tower with that Scorched Earth activated. He must have knew he would get some rotations in from his teammates who are coming now, but Silencer as well as Cop and the Void all disengage in a timely manner, and they'll get away scot-free with a couple kills in the mid, so definitely good for top 5 there. They still haven't managed to take any major objectives. They have the least important tower gone from Shadows of the Past in the off lane. The ultimates are up, aside from the Wraith King. 5 seconds until the Viper Stripe comes up for it. And the Chrono is down, as well as the Sonic Wave and the Silence for top 5. So despite getting what they did from that mid-engagement, good awareness there from Shadows of the Past to know that they really don't have the wherewithal to defend that mid-tower. Shadow Shaman will pick up an Invis bottom, and it will be scouted out here by this Radiant Observer ward. So Doom will back off, and they'll all look to rotate top, probably take this T1 safe lane tower, which top 5 will look to do as well. Looks like the Cop's rushing an Ags, and she's got it if she wants it at this point, with 1400 gold in her inventory and only needing the Staff of Wizardry. She's going to take this last hit on this bottom tower. It's actually going to be cleaned up by a range creep there, and she'll TP back and grab the Ags. So there it is. So she's gonna have a nice low cooldown spammable ult. She'll probably couple up with the Void and look to find some chrono pickoffs. Venge gonna TP back mid with the Doom. Doom is here without a blink, but he does have his ult, and if he drops it on the Void here, or even the Silencer, they're gonna have a good time mid. TPs are in, he does drop it on the Silencer. The chrono's gonna hit on 3, they're all TPing into it, but they're just gonna use it to back out. The arrow's also gonna land on this Void, but they don't look to re-engage as there's only 2 of them. So wasted Doom for wasted chrono, pretty even trade there. However, Shadow Shaman, whatever, I believe he's the other Canadian player. Yeah, whatever, and Legendary are the Canadian players for top 5, and he's looking to be a little Owie 2000 like, taking a page out of Curtis Ling's book and pushing the bot tower, committing the Serpent Wards. He sees the heroes start rotating in from Shadows of the Past and immediately TVs out, but they actually back off and go into Roche, and I believe the Mirana arrow just hit Roche. So they know this is happening, but not sure that they can defend it. They do smoke up. There's no chrono, but there is a Curse of the Silent dropped in. Doom will pop the Scorched Earth, and the arrow will split the wickets between Venge and the Wraith King. So uncontested Roche here going to be taken by Shadows of the Past, and a blink up clap onto the Cop. As she'll blink down and she'll get cleaned up in the pit trying to TP out after a Sonic Wave. A little bit of an ill-advised play there. Primal Split will be committed here. They'll clean up the Mirana with a Wraithfire Blast and a few right clicks, and he'll cycle in the Void up in the air and hope to boulder toss him before he gets out. But he will time leap down into the trees and TP out, and he'll be safe. Meanwhile, the Venge looking to clean up the Silencer, but the negative earn charge instead of the right click won't be enough. I guess she was disarmed from the last word there, so that was the only thing she was able to do. I guess her spells were both on cooldown to try and take that last word off, and she got disarmed as a result of it. Shadow Shaman is sitting on 1200 gold, but we look at the net worth and it's somewhat dominated by Shadows of the Past. They are all ahead of the offlane Void, except for the support Venge. So I still do have Silencer at the top, but he does not have an Aghanims yet, and he did actually end up maxing out Curse of the Silent. Is going for that Ags build, but he didn't rush it. He went for it after a Force Staff, so he'll be pretty effective in these team fights as long as they have the information as to where Shadows of the Past are. If Shadows of the Past are getting the jump, they're going to do some damage, and this Blink Dagger did come out on the Doom, so with that Devour recovery mechanism, he's doing much better than the offlane Void is for top 5. So if he jumps in and gets a Doom off on any of the priority targets, the Cop, the Silencer, or the Void, they're going to have a good time in these team fights. So there is a smoke on this Void. We'll see if they look to back up and bait out the Silencer a bit. There is an arrow flying, and it does hit a creep mid, so Viper will be alright for now. He's got support from his Doom behind him, so he's a bit of a bait, but Doom will actually back off now, as will the split pushing Shadow Shaman. So it looks like he's saving up for a blink with 1700 gold in his inventory, and the Wraith King actually does pick up a blink here, so that's a great timing. 20 minutes for support Wraith King with Tread's blink for SP here. So High Annihilate will deny up this bottom tower, and most everyone will continue farming. So the initiation is high for Shadows of the Past right now. They do have the 2 Blink Daggers, one on the Doom. Oh, 3 Blink Daggers, excuse me. One on the Doom, one on the Brew, and one on the Wraith King now. So with the BKB out for this Brew, that's going to mitigate a lot of the ability that top 5 has to bring him down. So they're going to need to get him in a chrono early, and even in that case, with all the towers they still have up, well, I guess their safe lane is gone, but with the mid tower still up, the Brew may be able to buy back and get into the fight with a Primal Split if he goes down before using it. We'll see if the Doom looks into blink in here. He does. He doesn't want to use his Doom, so the Shaman will try to TP out after hexing him, but Haste Rune used on the Wraith King. He'll blink in, Wraith Fire Blast him, and they'll clean him up absolutely for free, and that'll really hinder his ability to become more effective. He was looking to get that Blink Dagger sitting at about 1,850 gold, and he's now back down to 1,700. So the Wraith Knight will get fogged in the mid-cast animation of that Wraithfire Blast, so they will not get the silencer there, but knowing that the SS is down, they may posture up and look to take this top tower. It is very healthy, and it is definitely defensible. His cop is cooling down, and they're going to need to look at their bottom lane fairly soon, but they will put some chip damage into this tower, and they will have the Wraith King in the front lines with their... But they see the Moonlight Shadow, and they back off immediately. They must have seen it using this ward here, and they disengage quickly. The Viper is still in the front lines, but he's a tanky hero, and he's not the ideal target for the Chrono. The scouting arrow will whiff, and Moonlight Shadow will expire, and they'll look to back off here. A jump in on the Wraith King, but an immediate silence comes out, and Void looking for a good Chrono, hasn't found one yet. The Sonic Wave's going to hit on Tomb. He's going to doom up the Void, and Magic Missile going to hit the Void as well. The Silencer going to be brought up into the air by the Primal Spit, but they've already dropped 3, and that's 4. And the Cop was able to get out with a blink, but they'll farm up the Serpent Wards here, get a free tower, and be able to TP back in time to defend their bot lane. They don't even really need to if this siege goes down soon, but they'll look to go high ground here with even only these short res timers on the top 5, so not sure if this is the best decision to make. They'll definitely take a lot of chip damage on this tower. The arrow will whiff and hit a creep, but they have a siege creep with them. There is a Chrono still available, and they're wary of that, and they look to stomp him but whiff it, but they're going to mostly disengage, disperse for this Chrono not to hit, and the Viper is hexed up, but he's chasing into this Shadow Shaman very deep. He'll fake the cast animation for the Viper Strike there. He'll get shackled down and cleaned up, and he was actually suiciding with the Aegis, so the Chrono will hit on just the Void. The Sonic Wave will hit on 2, but the Mech Charge will keep the Wraith Knight up, and he does go down because his mana was burned by the Curse of the Silent after using the Wraithfire Blast, so he won't get his ultimate off there. But they will grab the tier 3, and Viper's here at full health without a Void Chrono. He's going to look to just finish up this Shadow Shaman, and they're going to ward off the Cop. Blink in, War Stomp on this Silencer, and they're going to look to right click him down. The arrow will zone away the Doom, but with one last Nether Toxin hit from this Viper, they will pick up the Silencer, who immediately buys back. Let's look if he's not aggressive TPing, he's just walking out into the fight, and with a Sonic Wave after the Scream of Pain into this Viper, they'll clean him up, but not much after the T3 pickup here. They seem to have stuck around too long. Shadows of the Past did. They put a lot of damage into this melee Raxwell, which will end up regenerating anyways. Their efforts would have been better rewarded going into the range racks there, but they still get a T3. They cause a few buybacks, so definitely a win for them, just probably stuck around a little past their welcome there. So they are dominating the net worth chart. Silencer has fallen off from his earlier reign and has still not been able to pick up his Ag Scepter, so he's about 25 gold away after that buyback has cost him heavily, and he'll pick up his Ag soon, but it seems like a case of a little too little too late. With 2100 gold plus the Ags, the Mech, and the Treads on this Viper, as soon as that Ag's ult is popped, he's going to be hit with Corrosive Skin and hit for a long time. So this Blink Dagger after the dieback I should say, on this Shadow Shaman is not coming this game. It looked to be potentially arriving around the 17-minute mark, but he got picked off in the top lane by the Doom and the Wraith King, so that's not coming. The middle tower is finally denied by Shadows of the Past, so a little bit of global gold going the way of top 5, but definitely not in a manner they would like it to come. Brewmaster is about 700 gold away from his Ags, and Queen of Pain and Shadow Shaman looking to set up a trap here, but Shadow Shaman thinks better of it, and the Queen will defensively blink north. So she does have a Maelstrom here, so I mean, looking to farm up a bit, I guess. Wouldn't be my first item choice on a Queen of Pain, but they do not have a lot of right click aside from the Void. in the silencer, and I guess a lot of BKBs are expected to come out. So Maelstrom, not a terrible choice. The Blade Mail is out on this Wraith King. He's extremely farmed for support. He's actually above the net worth of the offlane Void on the other team, so they really shut down that Void and zoned him out early game, and it's been cascading into the late game. Queen of Fane did find a Vengeful Spirit on the backside, but she obviously took quite a bit of damage in doing so, but they will have a full 5. She committed her Sonic Wave there, but it is Ag, so I mean you can use Ag Sonic Wave at level 3 to farm up creeps if you like. It's a really low cooldown, so 40 seconds. So they have a fully equipped base defense here, aside from a Moonlight Shadow. So Shadows of the Past will think better of it and just continue to farm up the dire jungle. They still are choking out top 5 pretty hard. They need to push the mid lane up a bit, which is what Venge is doing right now off her death. But Chrono's actually going to whiff here, and the Global Silence will go out, but the BKB is popped, and the Clap and Primal Split will go out on the backside. Shadow Shaman is able to trap up the Doom, so he will go down to a last word to the Silencer, and Viper up in the front lines is just extremely tanky. They will Cyclone up the Void, and the Broodlings will chase down the Silencer in the backside, so a couple right clicks will clean him up from the Viper, jump into a Wraithfire Blast on the Void, but it won't be enough to get him before he leaps high ground, and an arrow will deter the aggression of the Wraith King. It looks like Silencer was not able to get away. He was cleaned up in the backside by the Brew, and Queen of Pain is just going to push out the wave a bit, creep cut a little, and get away to safety. She has a TP off cooldown, so she can definitely do that. She's gonna, as I said before, farm up the creep wave with Sonic Wave and get the hell out of here. So good play by her, knowing that their Rax is exposed and that they lost the Silencer there. So she'll cut the creep wave, and they won't be able to push in. Actually, they do have the one siege creep, which she wasn't able to clean up with that Scream of Pain. So that'll be enough for them to break backdoor protection. But as I said before, I mean, this Silencer is up soon. He doesn't have a global silence, and the Chrono is down for 20 seconds, so they will be fine here. Jump in, Blade Mail, pop, Wraithfire Blast with a Thunderclap. Will clean up the Shadow Shaman there with ease, and they'll look to put some harassment into this Queen of Pain. They'll use a Moonlight Shadow, but it won't be enough to cover her retreat, as she'll get cleaned up by an orb attack from the Viper, but she will buy back immediately. They'll try to take down this range Rax, and they won't, because a Chrono's going to hit on 3, a Sonic Wave on 2, but a swap out from the Venge is going to save the Doom, and BKB pop plus a Thunderclap. The Viper will end up going down in the end, but this Queen of Pain can't go down here, or she's going to die back. The Silencer just spawned, and he doesn't have enough money to die back, and a jump in with the Doom will probably provoke the GG call here. The lead definitely isn't insurmountable, but when you've got a Silencer and a Queen of Pain, you're probably not going to scale extremely well into the late game, so they will look to take 2 lanes of Rax here, knowing that this is a full res timer on the Queen of Pain. The only buyback is the Shadow Shaman on the dire side, so they'll have an easy 2 lanes of Rax here. They'll actually go straight for the melee, knowing how much time they have. We'll see if Mirana throws out an arrow. She does, and it's going to hit the Brewmaster for 5 seconds and 345 damage, but the Doom will jump in with the Shivas to zone them out, and they'll take 2 lanes of Rax for free, and surprisingly enough, top 5 has the grit to continue on, so commends to them for sticking with it. But that's pretty much sealed the game for Shadows of the Past. They've surmounted a 20,000 net worth lead at this point, and 12,000 experience. So, and they're only going to get bigger. A few more items coming out for them. So Shiva's was picked up on the Doom. Vlad's was a nice pickup from the Brewmaster that I didn't mention before, and actually looks like this Venge is going for an Aghanim Scepter, so they're going to jump into the Roche Pit. Top 5 do have all their ults up, so if they are wary of this at all, I would definitely consider contesting. They do have the Venge postured up to suicide and make sure that no one comes into the pit here. So they are rotating towards it, and Roche is about at a quarter health, but they will jump in with 2. They will get caught 3 of them in the Chrono, and a big arrow will hit the Doom, but they just don't have enough to bring him down with the Silencer doomed up and caught in the Chrono as well. We'll try to use a Moonlight Shadow to get him out, but Blink, Clap, Crit, and even the Viper Strike for good measure will bring him down while he's doomed up. So they'll walk right back into the Roche pit and take it with ease, and Brewmaster will look to push this tower a bit. He does have backboard protection active right now as the wave is a little bit further back, but they'll take the Roche on, and the Viper will get ever so tanky with 2 lives, 1800 health, and corrosive skin active for both of them. They'll take this bottom tower with ease as the Silencer is down, but looks like top 5 will look to make one last base defense with the Chrono. Actually, Chrono's not up, it was just used in that engagement. But he will pick up his Ags now. Unfortunately, he'll have to suffer the cooldown of the level 2 non-Aghanims upgrade Chrono after using it. So, not sure he'll save for buyback at this point. Yeah. So they're going to go all in on this base defense here with when the Silencer comes up with his global silence. Doom is looking to zone them out with perhaps a Shiva's or a Blink Shiva's. His Doom is down for 20 seconds. He was just dropping his Nayrok. Oh, he was dropping his items on the ground to make his Tranquil Boots, but GG called. So well played. Ice Shadows of the Past all around. No mistakes really made, except for a few small ones in the very early game. So they knew how to push their advantage. They got a lot of initiation with Blinks on the Brew, Wraith King, and the Doom, and they did an excellent job there. They go 2-0 tonight. Top 5 unfortunately goes 0-4 for the day if you include ESL 1 New York. So unfortunate day for them, but tomorrow's a new day, and they'll wake up and look to redeem themselves, I'm sure. So thanks for joining me tonight, guys. I am your resident Canadian caster, More Rage Please Dota. If you want to comment about the cast, throw me a tweet at @MRP_Dota, or send me a Twitch message, or flame me in chat. Any of those will do. Thanks again for your patience. Thanks for your support, guys. And thank you to Dota 2 Canada for hosting this cup. It's gotten a lot bigger than it did last year. If you haven't already, pick up your ticket at the Dota 2 store for $5.99 and enjoy your cute little companion, the Bearski Courier. So thanks for joining me again, guys. Some great Dota. I'll be back tomorrow for more. So thanks again. I am your Canadian resident caster. More Rage Please Dota. Take it easy, guys.